there is always bumps in the road in every relationship. But when you understand your partner's past dynamics, the childhood traumas that they're bringing into you, and you both get it, there's a whole new way to communicate through those traumas.
Did you push record?
Welcome back to our second act with Paige and Silke. We're continuing our conversation with Riana Milne about childhood trauma and how that affects our relationships as adults. Riana, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Silke. Thanks for having me.
Okay. Riana, in our last two segments, you took us through what childhood trauma is and how we recognize it and how you deal with it. What I'd like to focus on, in our last segment today is how do we build an emotionally healthy relationship, and what does that look like?
Sure. Ideally, it's two consciously aware, evolved people. And research shows the best and longest lasting relationships are those that are spiritually based. So that's number one. So get yourself out to webinars and seminars where other spiritually conscious-minded people exist. That's number one. But once you're in the relationship, what it looks like is a balance of me, you, and us, like a triangle.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
Okay. So time for you, time for them, and time as a couple. It should be balanced. It shouldn't be all about you, all about them. So keep that in mind, equilateral triangle. Then I have another saying, it's you and me against the world. So your partner always comes first, no matter what. Even when you have children, the problem with a lot of breakups, they put the children first. They don't do their date nights. They're not having intimacy. The family breaks up by the time the child goes off to college. Huge mistake.
That's interesting that you state that. Is because of our generation especially. Mm-hmm. You would say the children are always first.
No. You put your partner first.
And that's maybe why we have so many breakups now.
That's right. That's right. So the children grow up actually accepting Saturday night is mom and dad's date night. They are just going out. That's what we do. We get a sitter. Friday night is family night. It's either board games or we all go to a movie together or an event. So, there is dynamics in the family that I also teach. I teach a lot of family work. But you and me against the world. So friends don't come first. I always say a 4-to-1 ratio on couples dates to friend dates. I hear this all the time. Well, when's the last time you had a date together? The eyes go up to the ceiling like, so that's too long. Oh, well, we go out with friends all the time. No, not good enough because the guys are talking about football. The women are talking about careers or recipes, whatever, the kids. And they're not relating on an intimate basis. 4 dates as a couple to 1 as a group.
Really good point.
Highly recommended at that. Okay. Requirements are met. The top 5 to 6 requirements are met as a couple. Requirements are non-negotiables. So if I'm working with somebody in their 30s and they want marriage and a family, they don't stay dating someone who says, well, yeah, kids are okay. No. It's like, yes, I want kids. I've always seen myself as wanting to be a dad. That's a requirement. They're non-negotiables. My guy Scott from the TV show, he goes, well, he must love dogs. If he doesn't love dogs, he's not for me. Perfect. One of my crazy requirements is must love to dance and do it well. And I've got an incredible boyfriend that dances amazing because that's part of something I really enjoy. So, those are the things, requirements. Know what they are and don't settle because you're not going to be happy. Your emotional needs are met. They show their love in the ways that you need, and your functional needs are met. So functional needs are they a good partner around the household? Are they neat? Are they clean? Do they help with the cooking and the cleaning? They're a good partner in all areas that you need. There's no hard and fast rules, but what are your emotional and functional needs? We need to define that.
Yeah, and at this point in our life, we should know what those are.
Exactly. And then do you have the same dream for your future together? What does 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years look like to you? And they better well match, especially over 50, right? So, and I would say also practices good health, mind, body, spirit. Because if you do those things and you don't have a partner that does, you're gonna have a hard time. You really are. And I did want to mention too, Silke, about, family dynamics. And, childhood trauma goes through the generations. And the first segment, when we talked on the having the 10 traumas, if you are someone from childhood trauma, mom or dad had it too. So think back, and then their parents had it. So this goes through the generations. And the only way it stops is if you go through an intensive coaching program like mine that totally deals with life, love, and trauma from the past, and getting rid of it and being clear of it, and then bringing your children up or grandchildren up in an environment where it does not exist. That is so essential.
How do you work with people? I know you said globally, which means you have,
Yes.
give us an example of how we would work with you.
Okay. Well, I live in Delray Beach, Florida, paradise, except during the hurricanes. And I do have local clients, but primarily I have global clients. And just like you and I work through Skype. So, and I have a 200-page workbook that they get, and the Live and Love book. And we work together module by module, and everyone presents to me a different puzzle, a different dynamic. So from their answers on the worksheets, I then know how to turn around and help them. So the notebook is the magic, and the other books are the research, but you really need the magic to all come together and someone to guide you through where your dynamics were and how to change them. So it's a 6-month VIP program, or I also have a 90-day online school. It's called the Life and Love Training Academy, and I have relationship rescue for couples and dating to mating for singles. And again, people of all ages and backgrounds attend the school platform.
Do you have an example, especially somebody our age, that
I have a perfect example
yes.
to tell you.
Okay.
One of my clients, I'll call her Marie, came in and she says, Riana, I'm here to help me through a divorce. And I looked at her file and she was 72 and she's been married over 40 years. I said, do you really want a divorce now at this phase of life? He's cheating on me all the time. He's cheating again. Well, how old is he? 78. And I'm like, well, you try coaching with me. She goes, well, yes, I want coaching to raise my self-esteem. I've lost myself. I don't know who I am. And I hear that all the time. I haven't been happy. He's verbally abusive, emotionally abusive. He ignores me. He's passive aggressive. She's definitely in a toxic relationship. And I said, Marie, this is the program for you. So I said, can we get Ken in here? She goes, probably not. He doesn't think anything's wrong with him. So I said, well, let's start. So I started with her, and she started changing and became more appealing and attracted to him. And the book, Love Beyond Your Dreams, was sitting on the table. One day she was out. He picks it up and reads it, and he calls me in this gruff voice. He goes, are you Riana, the coach? And I said, yes, I am. He goes, well, I'm Ken, Marie's husband. I said, hey, how you doing? You want to come in and see me? He goes, yeah, I think I better. He goes, you know those personality things you talked about in the front part of the book, the 14 personality types that can break your heart? I said, yes. He goes, I probably have about 6 of them.
Oh.
And
well,
I guess I didn't think I was the problem, but I guess I am. I said, look, the relationship is in crisis. We're not pinning a problem on either one of you. Come on in. I'll catch you up. Then we'll go together. Mm-hmm. And since then, he was cheating. He admitted that. He never admitted that before to her. She just suspected it. So they sold that house where he cheated in the house. Mm-hmm. They bought this beautiful new home together in a community where she was active, he was active, and they are doing amazing today. So I'm like, you don't want a divorce at this stage of life. Guys, you've come this far. So he was like, it was so amazing to see the transformation from her anger and the resentment. And she was so closed down all the time. And him just saying, I'm not dealing with it. So he went off and did his own life, right? And then now they're walking in holding hands and they're happy. And it's really a beautiful transformation. That's why I love what I do.
Well, and I love happy endings.
Yes.
And on that note, I mean, I could talk to you forever. We're already out of time on our segment again. I love that story. I mean, that is hope very late in life, and that's a great example. So thank you for sharing that. I would encourage all of our viewers, if any of this resonates with you, if this is I need to look into this deeper, do get in contact with Riana. Again, we have all of your information on our website as well as in the video description below. And I hope that we'll do a lot more, have you back a lot more. There's so
Thank
much
you.
more, so much more to talk about. Is there anything, any one last minute thing you want to leave our viewers with before we sign
Yeah,
off?
I mean, there is always bumps in the road in every relationship, but when you understand your partner's past dynamics, the childhood traumas that they're bringing into you, and you both get it, there's a whole new way to communicate through those traumas. So, like Ken and Marie, they had no idea what was going on. There is hope, there is answers. I would love to help you. I would be truly honored. Please reach out to me.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. It was great talking with you, and we look forward to having you back again on another episode
Thank
of
you.
Our Second Act with Paige and Silka. Bye-bye,
Thanks,
Riana.
Silka.
Okay.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Thanks so much for joining us today. If you haven't already done so, please just take 1 second and subscribe to our channel. Button's right over here. And for more videos on finding love after 50, please visit our website, secondact.tv, and we'll see you soon on another episode of Our Second Act with Paige and Silka. Thank you.